Do you need help getting from your current situation to where you want to be in the future? A lot of times, in my experience, I've been a personal trainer now for going on 9 years. Most people don't hire a personal trainer to get better at working out. You're not hiring a personal trainer, probably. Maybe you are. I don't know, right? Different people are listening to this right now. But most likely, if you're considering personal training, you don't really care about getting better at exercise. What you care about is feeling better. What you care about is moving better throughout the day, right? So do you need help with feeling better? Do you need help with looking better if that's your goal, right? And if you do, the answer is personal training may be a good option for you. Tell everyone when we get started with them, I don't want you to need personal training forever, but I hope you like coming to see us enough that even once you don't need us, you stay anyways because you like it. Welcome to Only the Greatest Podcast. If you're feeling stuck and unsure what to do next in your fitness journey, we might be what you're looking for. My name is Philip. I own and operate OTG Fitness, which is a private personal training gym on the south side of Houston in Webster. I do this podcast every week with my best friend, Daryl. We've been friends since 3rd grade and working out together ever since. Also joining us today will be Sean. He's the one that makes this podcast not only sound great, but look good as well. Our goal here is to help Houston make its way up the ladder of health and fitness. So if you're in the Houston area and ready to become the greatest version of yourself, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Before I start this podcast, I do have to make a disclaimer. I am a personal trainer. I do own a private studio, and at the end of the day, I think that our studio, OTG Fitness, provides the best personal training service. Now, that being said, I'm going to try to be as unbiased during this video, during this podcast, as humanly possible. I will try to give you the facts. We're here to answer the question if personal training is right for you. So I'm assuming that maybe you are online, you're on YouTube, podcast platform, trying to learn about personal training, what it is it the best thing that you can do for your current situation? And I'm going to do my best to lay all that out for you, give you some things to think about as you're trying to make your decision. The first thing that we're going to do is define what personal training is and the various types. We're going to talk about what your current situation is, if personal training is a good choice or not. We're going to compare it to other options that you have, and that will hopefully allow you to make the right decision. So if you don't know who I am, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, my name is Philip. I own OTG Fitness. It is a small, private personal training studio. We do accept personal training clients only. That's one of the styles of personal training that we're going to be discussing. And again, I think that what we do is the best, but I'm going to try to be as unbiased during this as I can. So let's first and foremost define what personal training is. And I did look up the definition. It's pretty good, but I'll put my own little spin on it, I guess. Personal training is basically, or a personal trainer is someone that creates a customized program for a client that helps them move towards their health and fitness goals. There are different types of personal training. There's obviously one-on-one personal training, which we do. There is we call it semi-private, which would be 2-3 people at a time. That's a great way to do personal training. We call that a shared cost environment. Kind of gets the cost down, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit as well. But at the end of the day, there's kind of 3 major ways that you can do personal training, or 3 types, 3 environments that you would be in a personal training setting. And all 3 of them, you're going to have an individual that creates an individualized, personalized health and fitness program and approach for you to follow. It's in the name, right? Personal trainer. They are your trainer. They're for you and your goals. Each and every step of the way should be based around you. The combination of what you want and what you need should come into play in this situation. And the 3 methods that we're going to talk about, or 3 environments that we're going to talk about, are a box style gym, and by a box gym, I just mean a big gym where there's multiple personal trainers in there, lots of customers, people that are paying a gym membership to be there. And then there are a select few of those gym members that may decide to hire a personal trainer and use the personal training service within that facility. So that's the first type. The second one is going to be an independent personal trainer. So an independent personal trainer could be at one of these bigger gyms. They could also maybe come to your house, right? They may work out of a small gym where there'll be less people, right? And then the last one, and this is the one that I'm going to be a little biased towards, so I'm just going to let you know, is a private studio, a gym that is specifically made and constructed for a personal training client. A gym like this will only accept personal training clients at that facility. So a little bit of pros and cons, I guess, of each one. In a big box gym, you're going to have a lot of equipment to have access to. Even the days you don't have personal training sessions, you're going to have this huge place that you're probably paying $30, $40, $50 a month for that you can also go to. The trainers there could be good, could be not so good. In my experience, a lot of times in box gyms, there are some not so great personal trainers, but that's where your due diligence is going to come into play to vet the trainers, which we're going to talk about a little bit here in a few minutes. But you have a variety of trainers in there, but the best thing about that situation is that you have this facility that you can go to even when you don't have personal training that you're paying probably a small monthly membership fee to. So it's really nice. An independence trainer, what's nice about that is the flexibility often of having an independent trainer where they may come to you, right? It's a smaller place. They really have more time probably with you. Independent trainers usually carry less total clients, where someone at a box gym maybe has more clients because they have the whole facility to market themselves to, right? They have a huge customer base because maybe this big box gym has multiple thousands of paying members, and all those paying members are potential clients for this trainer, right? So they may have a bigger book of clients to keep up with. An independent trainer is usually going to be a really good trainer for the most part. The independent trainers are great trainers for the most part because otherwise they wouldn't be in business, right? It's very hard out there. It's hard for them to maintain a business if they're not providing a good service to their clients. So there's definitely some benefit there. And then the last one, the private studio, the nice thing about that is that it's a private facility, right? It's just you, maybe just you and the trainer, maybe a facility like ours where there might be like somewhere between 4 and 8 people in the gym at a time. Still very small, very private, but there are some other people in there as well. And there's a lot of benefits that come with some private studios offer 24-hour access. We do. A lot of them don't, though. So a lot of private studios, if you're not coming to your personal training session, then you don't have access to that facility anymore. At OTG, I have to say we do, right? So it makes us a little bit different. So you still have access to the facility as a personal training client. So those are kind of the 3 different ones. The main difference is going to be the environment. So, think about that. Like, do I want to be in one of those 3 environments? If you really want to stay at home and you don't want to have to travel somewhere, that's where that independent trainer that could come to your house. They can bring a little bit of equipment, or maybe you have some equipment at your house. If they're a really good trainer, you don't need much equipment. You can get very effective results without a lot of equipment. And that kind of goes, I should say too, about the box gyms. Like, you don't need that much equipment. You don't need this huge facility. But if you like it, that's something to consider when you're making your choice, right? The next thing that we want to do, now that we know what personal training is, now that we know what we're going to get out of it, we're going to get an individualized, personalized plan to help you move towards your health and fitness goals, right? The next thing that I want to do is assess the current situation. What are my goals? Do I need help getting from my current situation, or do you need help, the person listening to this, do you need help getting from your current situation to where you want to be in the future? A lot of times, in my experience, I've been a personal trainer now for going on 9 years. Most people don't hire a personal trainer to get better at working out. You're not hiring a personal trainer, probably. Maybe you are. I don't know. Right? Different people are listening to this right now, but most likely, if you're considering personal training, you don't really care about getting better at exercise. What you care about is feeling better. What you care about is moving better throughout the day, right? So do you need help with feeling better? Do you need help with looking better if that's your goal, right? And if you do, the answer is personal training may be a good option for you if those things are true. If you know that I won't be able to do this by myself, then personal training could be a good option for you. If you think you can do it on your own without help, maybe you don't need personal training. Maybe that would be a cost that you don't want to take on right now because you think you can do it on your own. Awesome. I hope that you can. And I tell everyone when we get started with them, I don't want you to need personal training forever, but I hope you like coming to see us enough that even once you don't need us, you stay anyways because you like it, right? But that's just, an advantage of once you know what you're doing and you have started moving in the right direction, now you have a choice, right? Oftentimes you might just get a trainer to get started and then you don't need a trainer anymore. And that's amazing. I love seeing people graduate and going out on their own and continuing to, strive for more and reach their health and fitness goals. So now that we've assessed our situation, we know where we're at now, right? Whether that's overweight, whether that's just unhealthy, whether you just don't feel great from day to day, you want more energy, right? And I've put together a goal for where I want to be in the future. And you said that I know that I need help doing this. Okay. So now that you know that you want to go from point A to point B, we have a couple of different options here, right? So we talked about in the beginning, 3 options of personal training: be in a box gym, independent trainer, private studio, right? Well, when it comes to an actual fitness decision from going from point A to point B, you also have a few options. Your options are you could go get a gym membership and do it on your own, right? Then you don't need personal training. We already discussed that. You could also do an online personal trainer. You could do group fitness that has a trainer there. And then there's obviously the personal training, the semi-private or private personal trainer, right? So let's talk about kind of the pros and cons of each one. We'll just go through the gym membership real quick, just because, if you're still on the fence, you think maybe I could do it on my own. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages, right, of each one? So real quick, gym membership, if you just want to go get a gym membership somewhere, price really good, right? It's cheap, monthly cost, maybe you go to Crunch or Fitness Connection, Planet Fitness, $10 a month, $20 a month, very affordable, very easy. But the downside is there's no accountability. And if in the last question you assessed your situation and I need help, well, then you need accountability. A gym membership's not going to give you that. Yeah, it bills you every month, but it's not a lot of money, right? So maybe a gym membership is what you should try to do it on your own, but it's not going to have that accountability, right? Also, the environment. Maybe the environment of a big gym is not what you want. Maybe it makes you feel uncomfortable. There's a lot of people there. Then a gym membership's not going to do it for you. And then the last one is the amount of nutrition help that you're going to get. That's the 4 things that we're kind of assessing here, right? Price, how much accountability, what's the environment like, and then how much help am I going to get with my nutrition? So a gym membership, great price, no accountability. Environment could go either way, depending on how you feel. You want people around you or you don't want people around you. And then the nutrition piece, there's not going to be any. When we're talking about an online personal trainer, price varies a lot. There are online templates that might cost you like $50. There are online personal trainers that seem to charge a lot of money. And I will say this, and while we're on the subject of price, personal training costs money. It is inherently expensive for what it is. It's a personal service. It comes with a price tag. And on the online side of things, I've seen it vary a lot, from as little as $100 a month to as much as $1,000 a month or even more. There are these huge programs out there. So, do your due diligence. If you're considering an online trainer, if you want to work out at home, you don't want someone coming to your home, and you want the convenience factor, an online trainer may be a good option, but the price varies a lot. So just kind of test the waters out there, see what you can come around to. Accountability with online, that varies as well. I've seen some things that were like a weekly check-in. I've seen a weekly phone call. I've seen weekly Zoom calls. I've seen monthly, and all these are going to come with different price tags, right? So the accountability usually would be pretty good in an online situation because a lot of online personal trainers will do a lot of texting as well. So you can text, email, right? So they'll be checking in on you, making sure you did your stuff. Maybe they have some type of app situation where you have to check it off. So that's a form of accountability, right? So there is some accountability going on in the online thing. And then obviously you pay for it. Anytime you pay for something, that is a form of accountability. The environment, well, that's up to you. It's an online situation. You can work out at home. You could go get a gym membership down the road, right? So the environment in an online situation would be up to you. Nutrition involvement, I will say most online trainers are going to be heavy on the nutrition because they can't make sure that you are getting effective workouts. Yeah, you checked the box that you did the workout they said you were going to do, but how effective were you when you were doing it? In an online situation, they don't really know, right? But what they can do is really stay on top of you about nutrition. Make sure you're being educated about nutrition. Make sure you're making the right choices, the diet, whether it's a meal plan, macros, or whatever. Most online personal trainers are going to provide a pretty good service when it comes to the nutrition part, right? So something to take into consideration. Group training. Group training is not personal training, but it is an answer. It is an option for you if you're unsure, right? And you're trying to make a decision of whether I want to do personal training, group training, online and stuff, right? Group training is one of those possibilities. Group training, when it comes to price, pretty good. It's going to be more than a gym membership, right? But it's going to be less than personal training. I would say most group training situations are going to be like between $150 and $250 a month, probably. A couple of good things about them. That's going to be a lot of value because they're a lot of times they're like an unlimited situation. You know, you can go as much as you pay a monthly fee, go as much as you want because they're big groups of people. Right. And so, there's not a lot of limitations to how many people can come at one time. So it's like an unlimited type of thing. So can get a lot of value there. Accountability, you're paying for it. So that is accountability. But most of the time in a group training environment, there's not going to be too much accountability beyond that. You know, you're going to have a monthly fee. But because there's a lot of people for them to keep up with, there's not a lot of individual accountability going on there. So if you're someone that needs a lot of accountability, group training might not be your best option. But if you know you're super motivated, you don't need help getting there, then a group training might be a good option. When it comes to environment with group training, a lot of people. You're going to have on the low end, 10 or 12. On the high end, like I've seen classes, 25, 30 people at a time in a group training environment. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. Everyone will usually be doing the same things. And that's really where personal training is, superior to group training. Because in personal training, it's a personal approach. In group training, everyone's doing the same thing. So it's very fast paced. Usually it's going to be like loud music, right? The coach is, as a personal trainer, I hate to do this, but I kind of beat up on group training coaches because I kind of call them cheerleaders. They're kind of running around, yelling a lot, cheering you on, getting you pumped up, which is important. Personal trainers should do that as well. But in a group training environment, it's kind of on a different level. A lot of times they'll have a little microphone, they're kind of cheering you on, which I said is important, but you're missing the actual coaching and training piece of the equation sometimes in that environment. So something to consider. Nutrition involvement, as far as I know, most group training facilities are not going to be all that involved in your nutrition. They may have a separate program that's a separate paid program, or they may give you something very simple, like a very simple meal plan and say, hey, here's this, follow it and work out, but it's not going to be like a guided nutrition type of situation. So those are the things to think about with group training. Now, when it comes to personal training, which is what we're here to talk about, right? So now that you know your options, let's talk about personal training specifically. The price. Here in Houston, the average personal training one-on-one setting, it ranges quite a bit. With an independent trainer, you may be around like the $75, $85 per session type of range. At your higher end gyms, your LA Fitnesses, your Lifetimes, $100 or more per training session type of situation, right? So you have to take that cost into consideration. At OTG, I'm very proud to say that our semi-private personal training option, which is what most of our customers do, is right around $40 per session. So it's when it comes to personal training, it is very affordable. Now, I understand that in the overall scheme of things, it is still a large investment, right, to a lot of people. And that is understandable. It is an investment into yourself, right, that you can make. So I'm proud to say that As far as personal training is concerned, we offer it at a great rate. Even our one-on-one private training sessions are still, less than the industry standard because we are privately owned. We don't have these huge markups, right? So we can provide our services at a very good cost as far as personal training is concerned. But in general, personal training will cost more than other options. So something to consider there. Accountability. This is maximum accountability. If you're the type of person, you don't like to work out, you're not going to if someone's not there with you, you need your hand held through the whole process, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that, personal training probably is for you. Personal training comes with maximum accountability. And I would say in my 9 years now of personal training, that is the main reason. We have two kind of overarching reasons people come in. One, they're not going to do it at all if they don't have a personal trainer. And that's what we're talking about right now, that maximum accountability. The other person is they'll show up, but they're not really being efficient with their time. So maybe that's you. Maybe you're considering personal training. You're going to the gym, but you're asking yourself every time, like, man, am I really doing everything I could be doing? If you're that person, you should probably try personal training as long as you're good with these other things, right? The price, the environment, the nutrition that we're going to talk about here in a second. So to go ahead and move on from accountability, the environment. So this kind of goes back to the first thing that we talked about, which is the 3 different styles, the box gym, the independent trainer, or the private studio. Each one of those environments is going to be a little bit different. But when you're in your personal training session, that environment is focused on you as an individual, which is super important. That's what really sets personal training apart from group training, right? It's just you and the trainer, or in a semi-private, it's just a couple of people. So the trainer can still keep their focus on you as an individual. Very important to understand there. And then the nutrition piece, different trainers do it different ways. At OTG, we do offer nutrition as a free situation. It is free for us to help you with your nutrition as long as you are consistent with your personal training sessions. We will help you for free with your nutrition, but you have to stay consistent. A lot of trainers don't do that, and that's totally understandable. It is a lot of work. At OTG, we're lucky enough to have a team. We're a team effort, so we can all work together to help people out. What happens a lot of times in personal training is your trainer, they have clients right before you, and they have clients right after you. So there's not a whole lot of extra time to discuss the other things that you need, like nutrition, right? And so if they do have to take a separate time, then maybe they charge an extra fee for it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Just know that when you're scoping out personal training, if you make the decision that personal training is for you, that's definitely something that you should ask about, because some trainers are going to include it for free. Some are going to charge an extra fee, and then some are not going to do it at all, right? Myself, I lost almost 100 pounds, and I actually didn't work out during that weight loss period. I did it 100% with diet. And I'm not saying to not work out. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I need people to understand is that when it comes to weight loss, the nutrition piece is very important, right? And that's what I want people to understand. And that's why we do it for free. I'm a huge believer in fixing your eating habits. So we focus a lot on the nutrition, but there are some trainers that won't do it. And I promise you that even if you work out and don't fix your eating habits, you may not lose weight, but you will be healthier. You may not lose weight, again, but you will be healthier because you exercise. You will be a better person, better performing. You'll be stronger. You'll move better, all that great stuff. But we do want you to eat better also, especially if weight loss is your main goal. So I hope all this made sense. We went over the different styles of personal training. We talked about assessing your current situation and then setting goals for the future. And then you can ask yourself, do I need help? And if you do, we laid out a few different options for you, from getting a gym membership, online personal training, group training, and then obviously personal training, which is basically what we're here talking about. So I hope that this helped out. If you're asking yourself, is personal training right for me? Just make the call. Call a trainer, go a quick Google search, vet them out, read some reviews, see what people are saying, make a phone call, have a conversation, make sure you get along with them, and give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. A lot of things in life are two-way doors, right? You have to walk through the door, but you have the option to walk back out of it and go through another door. Nothing wrong with that. So don't overthink it. If you've been considering training for a while and some of the things I said kind of resonated with you, feel free to reach out to us. My name is Philip, otgfitness.com. You can find everything you need. You can Google us, read reviews, see what everyone has to say. Obviously, explore your options. If you don't think you need personal training right now, go try it on your own. Go get a gym membership. Just do anything. And I'm glad to see anyone starting to make a fitness and their health a priority in their life. So guys, if there's anything I can do to help you out, please do let me know. We don't monetize this podcast at all. We don't make any money from it. I'm here to help people. We want to help Houston make its way up the ladder of health and fitness. And that's what I'm trying to do. So if there's anything that you want to hear about, particular topics, you have questions, please comment. If you're listening on YouTube, send us a DM on any platform. We are here to help you, the resident of Houston. So guys, until next time, have an amazing day.